Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to this week's Real Estate Weekly Lesson. I am Greg, and today I'm going to talk about why you want to be really, really good at disclosing everything when you're flipping houses or wholesaling houses. And this is the only way to go, or being a landlord. You want to be heavy with disclosures. And I'm going to tell you in this video why that's the only way to go, because I see a lot of shady people in this business. Lord knows it's full with them. And I see a lot of people not disclose stuff, and it comes back to bite them in the ass. So if you are not familiar with who I am, I have been a house flipper, landlord, wholesaler, just real estate investor for 10 years. I've done at this point about 500 properties. So today I'm going to talk about a lesson, which is you always want to disclose everything you know about whatever property you're either buying, selling, renting, etc. So I'm going to start off with a story. I'm actually going to do a little mini deal breakdown, I guess. The deal hasn't closed yet, but I'm in contract on a house to buy. I'm choosing to wholesale it because I think that's the best exit strategy. And the original buyer did not want to go through with it. And I let him out of the contract because he got scared because the neighbor is out of their freaking mind. And he is like, I don't want this neighbor up my ass while I'm trying to rehab this house. I wasn't happy that he did that, but at the end of the day, it is what it is. He had a little clause in his addendum that said that if there was a survey issue, he could get out of the contract. And there turns out there was a survey issue with another neighbor. So he was able to get out of there, and I had to resell it to somebody else. So I found another buyer for the property, and I knew that the neighbor was crazy, and I knew that there was a survey issue. So before I even sent the buyer to the house, I said, listen, I got to tell you straight up. There is a survey issue with the neighbor on the right. His shed is on our property. You can get a boundary line agreement. It's better that he's encroaching on you, because if you're encroaching on him, that could be a bigger problem. So I disclosed everything I knew about the property. And I said, also, the sewer pipes might be encroaching, which is not true, but allegedly that is. But I don't think that is actually accurate. But I told him that as well. It's like an Eminem when he discloses everything negative that they could say about him before they got a chance to say it, and then he smoked him in the rap battle. You want to be like that. So you want to disclose everything you know. If you know information that a buyer could use to make a decision, you need to let them know that, right? That's the point I'm trying to make, and that's why I use that deal that's going on as an example. Another thing, when you're flipping a house, most states you have to fill out a disclosure form when you're selling to a retail buyer. So in Washington, I think it's like a Form 17. New York, it's called the PCDS. I know in Delaware they do that. Pretty much in California, it's like 78 pages of bullshit. You need to disclose everything you know about the house. And now sometimes if you're flipping a house, you don't really know everything about the house. You know, like what you did to the property if you renovated it, but you don't know anything if you didn't work on it. So what I like to do, and I'm not giving you legal advice here, is if you're selling a house flip and you knew what you did and you knew that you replaced something and whatever the case might be, put that on there if you know. If you know something that's black and white obvious, put that on there. Disclose it, disclose it, disclose it. Now, if you don't know something, you want to put unknown. Like if they're asking a question that you just don't have the answer on and you're on these forms, you put, I don't know, but here's the nugget here. And without giving you legal advice, consult this with your lawyer. At the bottom of the disclosure form, usually on every form, there's like a little space where you can write whatever you want. And I always like to put, seller is a investor. Seller's never lived in the property. Seller wants buyer to do inspection report, and seller is basically selling the house like as is, effectively, assuming, if I renovate it, I'm selling it as is after the fact. If I'm selling a fixer, of course I'm selling that as is. So put in the disclaimer at the bottom, buyer is to do home inspection to assess the condition on their own. The seller is disclosing what they know. There's many things that the seller doesn't know. So you basically want to put all the responsibility on the buyer, assuming you disclose everything that you know. Have them get a home inspection if they want to. And then they can decide if they want you to fix some stuff or give out credits for something that's legitimately broken. But you want to always put that in the bottom of a disclosure, like basically buyer beware. We never lived here. We don't know much about it. We painted it. We put new floors down. We put a new toilet in. We changed out the freaking lights in the kitchen, and that's it. So you want to be very, very, very clear about that. So you want to just disclose everything, because when you do that, it just covers your ass. It makes you not feel bad if the buyer ends up having a problem with the house afterwards. And you want to just be transparent about everything. Especially another thing too, if you're wholesaling houses. This is, like I said, I gave you that story an example. I see so many times wholesalers, I try to buy deals from them or whatever the case is. They don't tell you anything. They don't tell you what's going on. Like if you know the obvious, just disclose it. Hey, there's an underground oil tank. The seller's going to pay for it. Okay, cool. Thanks. That's the point. It doesn't need to be this long of a video because I think you get the point by now after 8 minutes of making this. So that's my real estate weekly lesson. Don't be afraid to disclose. And also, don't be afraid to send me your deals if you're in one of my areas. If you are in the Hudson Valley or you're in the Seattle metro area or you're in the state of Delaware and you have a house that you want to wholesale to me or wholesale with me, I can either buy your deal directly from you if the numbers make sense and be a really easy buyer, or if you want to just JV with me and wholesale it with me, we have done deals with other investors where we have split six-figure wholesale fees. So if you'd like to be the next person to do that, I'd love to work with you. Send me an email, greg@velocityhousebuyers.com, or you could send me an Instagram direct message at grego37, and I'll see you on the next REI Weekly Lesson. Take care.